New. Let's welcome Carlos
Hey,
on
Carlos.
YouTube. It's great to have you on. And we covered a few topics today and throughout the week. We had some
Mm-hmm.
guests on today.
Yes.
But I shared on air that I lost my last grandparent.
Oh,
Yeah, super sad. And so
that is
my
sad.
grandfather on my dad's side passed away this month, 96. Super healthy life all the way till the
Aw,
end. Amazing. It blows my
that's
mind. Like, I
amazing.
want that.
Yeah.
His mom and his siblings live super long.
Mm.
Um, but him being the last grandparent kind of shifted things in my mind in regards to my family. It's like, wow, that's crazy. So it kind of shifts things up. And my mom and I got into a conversation about the older generation in our family. What are her feelings with her now being the oldest? And then we ended up
Mm.
talking about lessons that our grandparents left behind or her parents left behind
Mm.
that she most values. We shared some of that. You texted us and let us know. So let's talk about that here. What are your favorite lessons
Yeah, let us
from the older
know.
generation in your family? I'm not going to give the number because you can't call. We're talking right here. What's up,
Right
Mike?
here.
What's up, Amy?
Yes.
Lana, what's up? Are y'all proud of me? I've not worn makeup all week, but I took the time to do my hair. And two things. Number one, I know we're talking about grandparents, so just text in
Yeah.
your responses. Every time, the last 3 times I've washed my hair, the gel disappears. I don't understand this mystery.
Really?
My kids use the gel. And so, like, if you could feel me, say what's up. I'll wash my hair. It's like
Mm-hmm.
natural hair. This is serious. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a step and there's timing.
Yeah.
So I'll do the whole thing, wash my hair, washing your hair with, if you have curly hair, with cold water is very important. All of that. I'll do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Come out ready to put the gel on to set things in place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gone. Then you ask people,
Really?
you
Oh,
ask the ones who are
girl.
guilty of using the gel, where's the gel? Nobody knows. I was so mad. The other thing I wanted to say is I
Oh,
was hanging
girl.
out with Raina yesterday
Yeah.
and we had a great time. We were watching movies, just me and her, all that.
Yeah.
And so she's laying on this side of the couch. I'm laying on this side, right? My
Mm-hmm.
legs are up, everything good.
Yeah.
It feels like
Relax.
she's kind of messing around with my toes. That was good. And okay, fine. I look down like 45 minutes later. All my gel color is gone. She was picking my gel color off. I was like,
Oh
what is. And then she just got up and left. So, anyways, that's a little bit of my frustration this week.
no.
So, I'm struggling. I'm just happy I did my hair today. Mike says edges under control today. That's right. Look,
Yes.
I focused right here. So the edges are
Mm-hmm.
under
It
control. They
looks
are curly
great.
though. What's up, Tammy? Miss
Hey.
Anita, your encouragement. I was looking for your text so
Aw.
I could respond. You are amazing.
Yes.
It's because of you and people like you that it's worth doing what we do.
Yeah,
Thank you for your
absolutely.
encouragement. Your favorite lessons from the older people in your family. And
Mm-hmm.
Mike wants to know who's in the corner today? Who's in the corner?
Mm-hmm. No one.
No one.
There's no one.
So, Kelly, what's the favorite lesson that you've learned from your grandparents?
I was actually trying to think about it. I think one thing that I've learned, it's not like really a spoken thing, but one thing that I learned about um, from my grandma Peggy, we call her the Pegster. It's endearing.
So,
Um,
who is it?
so is my mom's mom.
Oh, Pegster.
Yeah, Pegster. So the thing is, it's that um, the importance of intentionality because she would always contact people, always catch up, like always wanted to see updates. And that's one thing that I love about my grandma is she knows what's happening with everybody
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
family and like friends. And that's one thing that I really take away from my grandma. But also like she grew up in the like country and lived there for years. And I mean, it's like an open door policy of
Oh,
like if you
that's
come on
cool.
by, if you're just driving by, just come up to the house, say hi,
Oh,
come
that's
on
cool.
in, talk. So that's something
Oris
I
is
miss.
on YouTube. What's up, Oris? And he says,
Hey.
or she says, Oris, if I said, please correct me, says, good morning, family. And it's great to see Kelly every day.
Aw,
That is
thanks.
really cool.
Thank you.
That's cool to hear about what you learn from your grandma, and the
Yeah.
open door policy is super cool. I try to have that, but
Yeah.
especially with kids. So I have an open door, kind of open door. I mean, they gotta respect boundaries and stuff. But with my kids' friends, so my house, it's a plus and minus. I mean, there's like good things.
Yeah.
They can come in if there have been kids that have asked, oh, can we eat dinner with you? Or if I go to Cedar Point, I'll bring their
Yeah.
friends.
Of
Or
course.
there's even one of my daughter's friends who lives nearby. There's like 6 girls. It's crazy, and there's like drama and laughter, all that. And every once in a while, she'll be like, "Can you tell your mom to make some tacos? Because I love you want kids in your house,
Yes.
have food." And so that's super cool. And I like having that open door. The drawback is,
Yeah.
your house
Oh
looks
yeah.
like there's a bunch of kids,
Of
and
course.
then
Of
it's just
course.
loud and all that. But I know it will pay off. So it's cool to hear your
Yeah.
grandma has done that. Charles says,
Yeah.
"Good morning, beautiful ladies. How's my radio
Oh
family?
hey
Your radio family is doing
Charles.
great, and so happy for you for
Whew.
your new position.
Yes.
That is really cool." Tammy, what's up? And Lana says, "Happy Friday, radio
Oh,
family." The
we've made
weekend
it.
started, y'all. Don't let
We've
people
made
lie
it.
to you. It
Right.
started right here.
Yes. Yes, it did.
So from my grandmother, I learned a couple things that I really value. They weren't like lessons, but it was more observing. She was a mother. Both my grandmothers had 6 kids. My grandmother on my mother's side was a single mom of 6 kids, super hard worker. And so I always wanted 6 kids. And just to see her strength, and more importantly, the way she parented them when they were adults, the way she engaged with her daughters-in-law, oh my goodness, like everybody loves her. And sons-in-law, my dad would call my grandmother more than he called his own mom.
Yeah.
And one of the things I saw her do, but then she actually told me later on as I grew older about being a mother-in-law, is she says, mind your own business. Like, don't give unsolicited advice. So she
Yeah.
was a source of a lot of wisdom to her kids. But I saw the way she was very careful when she was in our home. She would go to our home for months because she would travel from DR and stay over.
Right.
And the way she would just be very neutral, and she would be there, but it
Okay.
wasn't like intrusive. Oh, just she was so wise. But the other encouragement she gave me was during the years when I was having kids. So now it's great. Everybody's older. I'm usually not with 6, but when I was having kids and pregnant and nursing and a bunch of toddlers, I had to put up with a lot of negative comments from people because people just have comments. And there were a few people who were positive and encouraging. My grandmother, when it felt very tiring and exhausting, have you heard that saying, the days are long, but the years are short? Like the days are long in
Yes.
those years, especially. Her encouragement always stayed with me. She said, it feels like a lot now. I had like 4 when she said that. It feels like a lot now, but she said in just a few years that like the group you'll see it becomes smaller. Like there's less you have to do. They depend less on you.
Yeah.
So that encouragement gave me the push to keep going because she had lived through it. And then she was single in DR.
Ooh.
So there was no help. Now she had her family, but like y'all, there was no
But
help.
yeah.
So yeah, there were some lessons there, and I look back and they become more meaningful,
Yeah.
especially being a mother-in-law soon. Not yet, y'all. But looking back and looking at the way she modeled that, it's like, I'm talking about, listen, some of my aunts and uncles are divorced. Most of them. My mom's the only one that stayed married. And the ex-in-laws still called her, still came to her
Wow.
house to care for her. That speaks a lot
Yes, it
to
does.
like, oh, she's like
Yes,
awesome.
it does.
So tell me, what are your favorite lessons from your grandparents? Charles says, I'm Team Brian, but I can get on Team Jannelle and Kelly if Brian does not come back.
Woo!
Team Jannelle is where it's
Team
at.
Jannelle.
It's
Team
where it's at.
Jannelle. That's where it's at. Absolutely.
Oh, and Team Kelly too. I'm just saying,
Aw,
not Team
thank
Brian.
you.
That's what I meant. Charles says, it's been a long time since I had a grandparent, but
Yeah.
they were themselves and didn't let other people change them or influence their opinions. or decisions. They
Yeah.
worked hard to make a living and accepted life as it came and adjusted and moved forward. I
Yeah.
love that last part, and it's actually
Mm.
a lesson somebody shared with me
Yeah.
that they learned. And it was from an older person in the family, and it said, check this out, y'all need to listen. It's important.
Woo. I'm
It
ready.
says, be open to change. Flexibility is
Mm.
crucial to living a healthy life. As one of the older gentlemen said in their family, some days it rains. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Life is a mix of good and bad days, and the key to staying happy, besides the Lord, is
Hmm.
knowing that it can all change in a second.
That's big.
That's something, oh, that's so powerful.
That's big.
Yo.
Yeah. I mean, I think of like my dad's mom as well, so my grandma on my dad's side, where her and well, my grandma and my grandpa were both immigrants from Germany, and she escaped Germany when the Russians invaded. And so
Oh,
she was 14, had $5 in her suitcase, and came to the United States. And
wow.
so for me, it's a story of persistence,
Yeah.
perseverance. Um, and so it's amazing to see how, like, with effort, you can make a life for yourself. It's, and so it's one of those things that I value their input because of not how tough they had it, but just knowing that, like, they've been through so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a blessing to hear like stories from the old country and
Yeah.
kind of hear what their like
Yeah.
their view on culture, their view on like let's just say politics, like all of the above, like
Yes.
religion. It's like
Yeah.
Christianity. It's great to hear those things from them.
I love that idea of learning from their stories and seeing what they've gone through.
Mhm.
My grandmother, I keep bringing her up. My other grandparents had other lessons we'll talk about at another
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah.
that grandmother on my mom's side, she came from a very small, like countryside town in DR, struggling and poor. She tells me stories of how
Mm.
hungry they were at times, the five siblings.
Yeah.
And to see the things she went through, and then she moves to the capital in DR, and then she raises six kids alone. She married
Yeah.
my grandfather, but
Yeah.
but then she raised the kids alone. Like you said, there's the learning from their lesson, but even as a mom, as a wife, as a
Mhm.
woman,
Yeah.
to draw from the strength of prior generations. Like I
Yes.
talk about my grandmother, but to
Yes.
know the things that my parents went through when they came here as
Mhm.
immigrants. There are
Yeah.
situations that I come across where I
Mhm.
want to cower down or I feel afraid, and I look back and I'm like, listen,
Mm.
I'm coming from people of strength and the things they've gone through,
Yeah.
and kind of reminding myself of what's in me. And there's my strength in the Lord, but then there's the legacy that your family leaves
Yeah.
behind. So that's again the
Absolutely.
importance of talking to.
Yeah. Well,
There's you'll be surprised the amount of
yeah.
people that don't know the stories in their
Mm.
family.
Yeah.
Ask
It's
your
so sad.
grandparents.
It's so sad. Like I think of like my mom's dad, and he died when my mom was 17. So of course I'll get to meet him in heaven one day. So I'm so excited for that one day. But obviously for other reasons too. But I just remember hearing stories about my grandpa of like it was their funeral, like the funeral for my grandpa. And my mom said there was a man there where she had never seen him before.
Yeah.
And so my mom asked him, like, I don't, how did he know my dad? And it was really sweet because he said, your dad was the only person who recognized me. And
Oh.
I think, like, I love telling that story because it's like something that I can take pride of being kind and seeing people of like who they are and not based on career, not based on success, not seeing people as they are and loving them because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those absolutely, Jannelle, seeing those things is just absolutely wonderful that you can help carry along that legacy. But it's
Oh
a
yeah.
choice to do it.
It is a choice.
It's a
And
choice.
it starts with knowledge. So talking
Yes.
to those in our family who are older and learning from our history. Amy says, my grandpa always told us, young daughters, granddaughters, as we approach dating age, nothing good happens after midnight.
Yes.
Hello. And if the
Yes.
milk is free, he will never buy the cow.
Mhm.
Just a couple funny things from my grandpa.
Mhm.
That is super cool.
Yeah,
If
my
you
mom says
if you're
that
on
too.
YouTube, I see you on YouTube. Make sure
Yes.
to comment, share the lessons that you've learned about from
Yes,
the older
please.
people in your family. Make sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We have lots of episodes you can catch up on, but then you'll also find and be notified when we drop new episodes,
Yeah.
which is every weekday at 9:05. Maurice, have a good weekend on YouTube.
Bye.
And Tammy, Miss Anita, we love you. Mike, have a good
Love you
weekend.
guys.
Amy, thank you for sharing your funny stories from your
Yes, love
grandpa.
it.
And Mike, Charles, what's up?
Woo-hoo.
We'll let you be in the team for now. And